is Maggie Britton, and I am here to present my senior seminar topic on the COVID-19 vaccine. So before we even fully jump into things, I just want to include a little disclaimer of sorts. Your first thought was probably something along the lines of, oh great, she's either here to persuade or dissuade us on whether or not we should get the COVID vaccine. I just want to say I am solely here to present facts to you on a technology that has changed society. I am getting these facts from sources like the CDC and the FDA, which are credible. I am not here to persuade or make political jabs. Like I said, I'm here to present facts, not speculate. So no matter what you do or do not believe, I think it's safe to say that the COVID vaccine has had a drastic effect on our lives. Moving on, I think it's important to look at an overview of the basics of vaccines to understand the coronavirus one. The point of vaccinations are to create immunity. The definition from Merriam-Webster of immunity is a condition of being able to resist a particular disease, especially through preventing development of a pathogenic microorganism or by counteracting the effects of its products. The practice of immunization dates back hundreds of years. A man named Edward Jenner is credited as the creator of the first vaccine, which was for smallpox. Through using vaccines, we have eliminated smallpox and nearly eliminated the polio virus. Other diseases like measles and whooping cough are also at an all-time low. To continue the success of vaccines, it's crucial to make sure that they are safe. In this image I included, which is kind of cut off at the bottom, but I will explain, you can see the vaccine life cycle is very lengthy. What I want to highlight, though, are the gaps, or the 4 white spaces in the middle of the rainbow of colors. The first gap is the Investigational New Drug Application, or IND. A sponsor who is wanting to start clinical trials must submit an IND to the Food and Drug Administration, or the FDA. The IND describes the vaccine, its method of manufacture, and quality control tests for release. It must also have information on the safety and its ability to create immunity in animal testing, as well as a proposed plan for testing the drug on humans. The FDA, which is the third gap in the white picture, goes over the IND to ensure the vaccine used in clinical studies doesn't harm human subjects. If the clinical trials go as according to plan, the manufacturer submits a biologics license application, which is the second white gap in the image, to the FDA, of which inspects and, if approved, is licensed for use in society. Once the FDA licenses a vaccine, the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, or the ACIP, the final white gap in the picture, develops recommendations and forwards them to the CDC's director for approval. If approved, the vaccination is then released for use in the United States. So with all that being stated, it's clear to see that many different organizations and companies have worked together to make COVID vaccines available to the public. While these vaccines were developed quickly, according to the CDC, all steps have been taken to ensure their safety and effectiveness. The disease we know as coronavirus is actually a family of viruses. Scientists have been working for many years to develop vaccines against coronaviruses, such as those that cause severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS, and Middle East respiratory syndrome, also called MERS. SARS-CoV-2 is the virus that causes COVID-19 and is related to these other coronaviruses. Specifically, vaccines are made to target this virus. Coronaviruses have a spike on their surface called spike proteins. The spike proteins are what the vaccines target. The vaccines are made of mRNA, which are what tells your body how to make proteins. The mRNA in the vaccine essentially teaches the cells in your body how to make copies of the spike protein. If you're exposed to the real virus later, your body will then know how to fight it off. The knowledge gained through previous research scientists have done on other coronavirus vaccines is what helped quicken development of the current COVID-19 vaccines. The fast production of the COVID-19 vaccine has led many to question the vaccine and the entire vaccine production process in itself. According to Mayo Clinic, some people may object or hesitate getting a COVID-19 vaccine because of religious objections, fears about possible risks, or skepticism about the benefits. Most vaccinations take roughly 10 years to create and pass through each of the steps in the image I showed you on slide 4. It is easy to see why people are hesitant to get a vaccine that only took a fraction of that amount of time. Being that coronavirus has seemingly taken over our lives over the course of the last year, people are fed up with it. There have been numerous issues in our schools, workplaces, and healthcare system. Here in Illinois, schools require masks for all students. There have been lawsuits from parents against school systems attempting to take down the mask mandate for the kids. Many workplaces went online during the peak of COVID last year, and many have chosen to remain so. Other places who have stayed in person require vaccinations, masks, and/or other precautionary measures like mandatory weekly testing. Healthcare issues involve ethics, like only letting 1 to 2, or in some cases, no family members in to visit loved ones in hospitals, nursing homes, and doctors' offices. Other problems like running out of beds, supplies, and even staff members are starting to have a drastic effect on our healthcare. Some are even predicting food and other supply shortages this upcoming holiday season. With less employees and rising gas and food prices, many are ultimately preparing for the worst. To conclude, coronavirus has and will continue to cause multiple ethical issues and leads to questioning our leaders. Although the COVID-19 vaccine has been released and many view in a positive light, others disagree. This phenomenon is unfortunately ongoing, but understanding vaccination is critical to forming your own thoughts and opinion on the matter so you can make the best judgment for yourself.